believe that privatization is a subject that often comes up that is a concern, and rightfully so. No one wants to lose their job. We must be considerate of all options, and that means that the conversation has to be fully explored in order for everyone to make an informed decision. What I would like to see in those instances is that city employees have an opportunity to bid on some of the contracts that come to the city of Detroit, whereby if they already have the skills to perform the work and the city wants to save on healthcare costs and the other costs that comes with labor, then city employees should be the first ones in line to seek those opportunities. To enforce the executive order that requires that 51% of contracts are employed by Detroit residents, number one, we have to be able to look at our workforce and the pool from which we're pulling from. I would want to ensure that those are equipped with the skills and the knowledge to perform those jobs and to be considered and selected to actually participate in those contracts. So it's about, we've got to do our due diligence. We have to perform studies to make sure that we're adhering to the law, but really giving people an opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity to serve in that capacity. As it relates to the Charter Commission and the Charter Revision, particularly as a city council member, I will be concerned about the balance of power. As we know, we have a very strong executive branch of government, and city council's roles are limited to some degree. Because citizens are looking to us to be able to deliver on some of the campaign promises that we've made, and not only that, just being able to deliver your core city services. I would like to see there being more accountability to city council, that when a concern is brought up, that I actually have the power and authority to have it adhered to or followed through by the administration. The neighborhood in which I live is the northeast side of Detroit. Gratiot and 8 Mile are the main streets that border my neighborhood. One of the things that I'm most concerned with about in that area is the number of vacant homes. It's one of the things that actually pulled at my heart before I decided to run for city council, is the number of vacant and foreclosed homes, the number of young people that I see with idle time that are not necessarily involved in some type of recreation or constructive activity. What I would look to do is to work with the local neighborhood associations as well as block clubs to understand what assets we have within the community. There are so many hidden talents, so many hidden skills that are untapped, and I think that it's going to require working together toward strengthening our communities, giving our young people something to do, watching out for our seniors, and also protecting the properties, especially the ones that are abandoned and are neighboring to working citizens. As it relates to governance of the public schools, let's face it, the current system is not working. Other cities have shown success under mayoral public school control. However, it's going to be up to the citizens, you, the people, to decide. We never want to take that level of democracy from our system, and therefore it will be up to the people to decide. But at this particular time, I believe that the city of Detroit and the mayor has a number of tasks on hand that to add this management of the Detroit Public Schools would be an overload. But I think that it's something that should be considered down the road, but ultimately the people have an opportunity to vote that into action. The city services we must provide are police, fire, and EMS. We have to have a safe community. So that's number one. That's the number one priority. in order to bring about some of the other things that we want as far as economic development, housing, people want to feel safe. If you're a business owner, you want to be able to call the police and have them there in response to something that takes place on your property. If you're a homeowner and your house is on fire, you want the fire department to respond in a timely manner. Employees, you want to have safe travel to and from your home to your place of work. And so that is a priority that we can't take off the table. In addition to that, lighting our communities is important. When a citizen says, my street light is out, we can't ignore that. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to put the lights back on in several communities. So those are areas that we have to take a hard look at and say, how can we do this better? Because we've got 800,000 people or more to service, and it's unacceptable that these basic city services aren't being provided. If you could give me a couple of examples, not privy. Under no circumstances could we privatize, of course, our public safety. Even though there have been other communities and other cities and states that have done that, we must make sure that those who are providing public safety services, have an opportunity to still do that without privatization. The best way as a city council person, and we must understand what the limitations again are, but one of our greatest power and strength is through our budgeting process. And so therefore, when we establish what the budget is going to be at the beginning of the year for public safety and our police department in particular, there has to be ongoing oversight of how those dollars are being allocated and spent. It's not enough to just say, here's a big pot of money, do with it as you please, but it has to be used in such a way that, number one, that there's proper training. When officers are being properly trained, then therefore it can cut down on some of the things that have caused us to be litigated against. I think the better equipped we are in that regard, we'll be better off as a city. It's too costly for us to continue to operate in the way that we have. With the consent decree that is in place and the number of sightings, it's imperative that we clear those off as soon as possible. So far it's already been 6 years and we have not achieved at least 30% of the items that are on that list. And so it is imperative that our police force recognizes the importance of getting this done and the impact that it has on our citizens. Currently our system is one where the police chief is appointed. The election process, again, you would be asking the citizens to decide. I think that the best individuals to decide are the officers because they understand their line of work. The democratic process would begin with those who are most closely related to the chief. In order to get businesses to comply or change over to more of a recycling program, there has to be a convenient process, and there has to be incentives involved. Of course, any time that businesses are asked to do something differently, they're going to consider how much is it going to cost me, how much time is it going to take, and how easily can this new process be implemented. So if we work together hand in hand in how we achieve that, I believe that we can get there. One of the things that would be of particular interest for businesses is if by recycling there's a tax credit that they may receive for having done so. And so I think that we benefit overall as a city because we cut down on the amount of waste that's being produced and sent to our incinerator. And then as a business, you're able to lower your costs based on the tax credits or benefits that you receive at the end of the year as a business owner.